The U.S. Army is looking to extend its lease of state lands at Pohakuloa, well before the end of the current 65-year agreement, which began in 1964. In an exclusive story by Ikaika M. Hussey on the Hawaii Independent website, an October 2012 staff memo reveals the state of Hawaii is in negotiations with the U.S. Army for a new lease for the Pohakuloa training area. Hussey reported the reason for the request is to relocate the base camp at the east end of Bradshaw Airfield to safeguard personnel and facilities, which will require significant capital improvements. The General Accounting Office advised the Army that it would need to secure a long-term interest in the premises to justify the investment in such improvements. The lease is for a 24,000-acre parcel that makes up 1/4 of the size of the Army training facility, which is located on Hawaii Island's Humu'ula Saddle between Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea, the website reports. Currently, the land is being leased by the Army for $1 with an expiration date of 2029. Military opponents are already springing into action. Peace activist Jim Albertini reports that he and Isaac Harp met military leaders to discuss a range of concerns on Wednesday, March 20th. Albertini wrote in an email that the military's delegation included the PTA base commander, Lieutenant Colonel Eric Schwedo, the command Sergeant Major Alan Higgs, and the PTA safety officer, Tim Keller.
And we're also here to protest.
Albertini, who runs the Maluaina Center for Nonviolent Education and Action, has been a vocal critic of the military in Hawaii for years, and he has often demonstrated outside the gates of Pohakuloa. Albertini wrote that citizens deserve answers to dozens of questions submitted to the Army in writing since 2007 that have gone unanswered. Questions such as, what are the current number of live rounds fired annually at PTA? Or why has the military failed to respond to 8 actions called for by the Hawaii County Council, such as the 2008 resolution calling for an end to live fire at PTA and a cleanup of depleted uranium contamination. Albertini and Harp also want to know, quote, by what authority are Hawaiian Kingdom Crown lands being leased, end quote. The Hawaii Independent reported that the Department of Land and Natural Resources Chair, William Isla, said the Land Board will not be taking up the issue within the next 3 or 4 months. Meanwhile, it's unclear how much money will even be available for significant capital improvements at Pohakuloa these days, since the federal sequestration cutbacks are still being figured. Major General Roger Matthews of the U.S. Army Pacific told state lawmakers during a March 5th special briefing before the Hawaii State House Committee on Veterans, Military, and International Affairs that they are bracing for lost civilian jobs due to decreased military construction.
Also, as a result of sequester cuts in Hawaii, we expect to furlough approximately 7,000 Department of Army civilians. We are waiting for the implementation guidance, and as General Wong explained, the 22 March to send the notifications out with the implement around the 26th of April. For those 22 days, they will be applied through September, non-continuous. They cannot be consecutively applied to take place. Additionally, we expect approximately just under 200 jobs lost, 191 is what we're forecasting for decreased military construction, and just under 1,300 other contractors' jobs could be impacted. And the example that we talked about mentioned BAE, which we can talk about a little bit later, is an example of that. We will also see approximately another $106 million reduction in base support operations and $100 million in project cancellations in military construction, sustainment, restoration, and modernization. And those are largely dollars that come from MCOM that does our installation support as well, because they also had a significant reduction in their top line as well.
In a media release issued on Thursday, March 21st, Pentagon Press Secretary George Little said the Department of Defense decided to delay the issuance of civilian employee furlough notices for approximately 2 weeks.